Hey everyone, and welcome to Dragon Minds Studio. Today we're diving into the launch trailer for Kaku Ancient Seal, and let me tell you, it's way more than just a peek at gameplay. It's a whole story about a world's creation, its total collapse, and the journey of a hero who has to pick up the pieces. So, let's break down the lore and see what this story is really trying to tell us. The trailer kicks off with this really haunting line, and everything fell apart. Wow. That's a powerful way to start, right? It immediately tells you this is a story about loss, about a world that was once whole and is now just broken. But to really get a grip on how tragic that fall is, you gotta see what it fell from. So let's hit rewind. Before all the chaos, before the shattering, there was perfect balance. A world created with a real divine purpose. But what did that perfection actually look like? And who was the architect behind it all? Way back at the dawn of time, there was a being named Saga. This divine creator literally shaped the world. And the key thing to get here is that this place wasn't just born from random chaos. No, it was designed piece by piece with a ton of purpose and intention. A perfect harmony, all coming from a single powerful mind. So how did Saga pull off this kind of perfection? Well, by using the fundamental building blocks of, everything. Earth, water, air, and fire. But these weren't just wild, untamed forces. Think of them more like instruments, used to create this precise, interlocking balance that held the entire world together. This was peace. This was how things were meant to be. But you know how these stories go? That kind of perfect peace? It just wasn't meant to last. And now we get to the moment it all came crashing down. The Great Shattering. The thing that broke everything? It came from the outside. Some mysterious, unknown force from a totally different world just showed up. The trailer is super vague about it, which is brilliant, right? We don't know what it is, just that the second it arrived, everything ended. This mysterious threat is the absolute core of the entire conflict. And just look at the damage. This slide shows it all. The world went from one single harmonious place to four shattered, totally isolated realms. And it's not just that the land broke apart. The elemental balance itself was corrupted. Now, each of those realms is ruled by a twisted lord, basically a dark reflection of the harmony that was completely destroyed. So, with the world in pieces and darkness pretty much everywhere, who could possibly stand a chance? Well, in stories like this, when all hope seems lost, the weight of the world usually falls on the person you'd least expect. And here he is, Kaku. He's not some legendary warrior or a wise old wizard. He's just a kid. But what's so interesting here is that little detail. He's unaware of the prophecy. He's not looking for this fight. Fate chose him. He's a reluctant hero, and honestly, that makes his journey so much more interesting to follow. And of course, every hero needs a sidekick. But Kaku doesn't get a big scary dragon or a majestic horse. Nope. He gets a loyal and, very surprising flying pig. I love this. It adds this amazing, charming twist to the whole epic fantasy vibe. It tells you that, things are dark, but this story is going to have a lot of heart. Okay, so we've got our hero. We've got his flying pig sidekick. We've got a shattered world and four really bad dudes to deal with. What's the actual plan? How do you even start to fix a reality that's been fundamentally broken? So here's the roadmap for his quest. First, he has to just face the world for what it is, broken. Then he's got to take on those four corrupted lords, the living symbols of that brokenness. But look at that step in the middle. Awaken the power within. That tells me this fight isn't just about punching bad guys. It's an internal journey too. He has to find his own strength to have any hope of restoring the balance Saga once created. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important idea of the whole story. This isn't just a quest to glue the world back together. It's about transformation. It's about the rebirth of a legend. This last line from the trailer, it's everything. Notice it doesn't say the world is about to be restored. It says a legend is about to be reborn. That's a huge difference. It suggests that this journey is going to change Kukui forever. He's not just a boy fixing a problem. He's on his way to becoming the new legend that this broken world desperately needs. And that leaves us with the big, central question of the story, doesn't it? Kaku's mission is to restore the balance. But can you ever really go back to how things were? Or is a true hero's journey, the rebirth of a legend, less about fixing the past and more about forging a totally new future from the wreckage. It's that classic conflict between fixing what was and building what could be. And that's what makes this world so fascinating. Definitely something to think about.